The semiconductor sector took a pretty big hit in 2022, especially as the global economy started to slow and demand was kind of pulled back a little. But so far in 2023, it looks like the semiconductor stocks are starting to make a recovery, with a few of the stocks that I mentioned in this video being up over 50% since late 2022. So today let's go over 4 of the top semiconductor stocks to at least consider adding to your portfolio here in the near future, as things seem to be slightly ramping back up. The first one, and probably the most popular out of the 4, is Nvidia, or NVDA. Nvidia is the #1 creator and designer of discrete graphics processing units, or GPUs, and these GPUs create more of an enhanced visual experience on computers and other devices. It's seen a lot of its success in the high-end PC gaming market, but they've also ventured into artificial intelligence, as well as things like technology for autonomous driving in cars. Nvidia has what's called the Drive PX platform, which is a deep learning tool for self-driving that's currently being used in research and development, which, if you ask me, is pretty cool. Nvidia's current market cap is $532 billion with a PE ratio of 57.2, and its current share price is right around $214 per share. And like most stocks in the Nasdaq, Nvidia had a pretty rocky year in 2022, but its year-to-date return is already back up nearly 40%. And although demand has slowed, the total revenue has been increasing year over year since 2020, and it stayed cash flow positive with a pretty large end cash position of around $2.8 billion. And since Nvidia is the leader in the design of discrete GPUs, it's been able to keep significant market share with pretty high barriers to entry as well, so competition as of right now is pretty low. So Nvidia, or NVDA, is one semiconductor stock to consider adding to your watch list this year. This next one has also become increasingly popular this year. It's the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSM. TSM is one of the world's largest chip manufacturers that does business all over the world, and these chips are used in high-performance computers, mobile devices, and electronics in cars. And Warren Buffett, who, as we know, is one of the greatest investors of all time, recently added TSM to his portfolio. So he hadn't owned it before, he just recently bought into the company this last year. And he purchased just over 60 million shares, valued at about $4 billion, at a cost basis of $75, which means on that position, he's up about 30% so far. TSM's current share price is sitting at about $95 with a market cap of over $490 billion, a PE ratio of 14.5, and pays a pretty decent dividend of just under 2%. Even with slowing demand, its revenue jumped significantly from the previous year, and they're sitting on a huge chunk of cash, with the free cash flow increasing year over year as well. Also, if you were looking at the numbers on these financial statements and they seemed extremely high, it's because these numbers are in Taiwan dollars, which is why I'm not able to give you an exact number in USD. Frankly, I'm too lazy to convert it myself. But the bottom line is that this company is currently doing very well financially. According to analysts at Morningstar, the fair value estimate for TSM is $140, which means it's currently trading well below its fair value price. And to investors like Warren Buffett, that's something that's really attractive if you're planning on buying and holding for 2+ years. Which explains Warren Buffett's recent investment into TSM. TSM has also beat earnings by a long shot every single quarter since Q1 of 2022. So for about a year straight, it's just crushed earnings estimates, which is something that's not very common unless the company is doing extremely well. So TSM is definitely a stock that large institutional investors and hedge funds are either buying or watching closely this year. Number 3 is Advanced Micro Devices, or AMD. Very similar to Nvidia, AMD designs microprocessors for computers and other electronics. And what's cool about AMD is that it supplies the microchips for gaming consoles like the Sony PlayStation and Microsoft Xbox. AMD has a current price of about $86, and its market cap is $140 billion with a PE ratio of 55.6, which is fairly high but not outrageous. As we saw earlier, Nvidia has a PE ratio of about 57. AMD's total revenue and gross profit both jumped significantly from the previous year, with its cash position sitting at around $2.5 billion, and its free cash flow has been increasing year over year as well. Morningstar gives AMD a fair value estimate of about $114, which would mean that it's trading a little below its fair value price and might be a great value play type investment. Although it is trading below its fair value price estimate, AMD's economic moat is still considered narrow, probably because it's competition from Intel. So with that being said, the last stock I wanted to mention is Intel. Intel is a computer technology company that's been around since 1968, and it's been the market share leader in the integrated design and manufacturing of microprocessors found in computers and servers. And from what I've seen, Intel stock has been pretty controversial these past probably 6 months now, because it's actually losing market share to AMD. Intel has a market cap of 142 billion, a PE ratio of 15.5, and it pays a nice 5% quarterly dividend. In fact, it just recently paid a cash dividend of 36 cents per share, which of course can always be attractive to dividend and value investors. When it comes to financials, Intel's gross profit is actually down from the year before, but still has a pretty healthy cash position of over $11 billion. And what they're doing with all that cash, I don't really know. But they have made some pretty smart investments and acquisitions in AI technology and continue to invest a lot in R&D. And its growth has been a little slower than the growth of other semiconductor stocks that I mentioned as the semiconductor sector has been recovering. But Intel still might be a great value play with that consistent dividend and the current market share that it has. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these 4 semiconductor stocks, and I'll gladly have a discussion there with you. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.